crafty cuties, and welcome back to another episode of Layers of Love. It's actually been a really long time since I have filmed an art journal entry. I started this series right before I got pregnant, and then it kind of just fell off the bandwagon, but I've been wanting to get back into it. We're just gonna get going. I have some lovely products here I've been wanting to use, and I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to use. So to get me started, I wanted some help, and I went ahead and went to Etsy over at Kissmycreative, and she has these adorable sketched flowers that you can print out and use however you want. They also come so they're a digital download. They also come individual files, but I just went ahead and printed this out on vellum paper. I do not draw well, and I thought that this might kind of help me since I feel stuck. So I'm going to start out by just cutting these out, and then we will get into it. I did want to take a quick moment just to talk a little bit about her Etsy shop. She has a YouTube channel too, if you didn't know, and she is extremely talented, but I feel like her shop, even though she just recently started it, I feel like she deserves so much more traffic on her shop. She offers digital downloads. She has a couple, maybe just one, I can't remember, one or two, maybe a couple journal kits. And she has a lot of things like this, things that you can use in your art journals. And so I just kind of wanted to mention that I felt that way because I think that her shop looks so great, and I know that it's so hard to start out your shop. So hopefully if you guys are into anything digital downloads or art journaling or junk journaling, then maybe you can take a quick moment to check out her shop, and I would love that. Cut out nicely. I'll be honest, I don't think they're going to be waterproof because I don't have a laser printer, so I don't know how I'm going to use them, but I am going to use them. We're going to move them out of the way, and I'm going to start by making some type of a background color. I've been wanting to use these inks for a really long time now, and I just never do because I guess I know how to stamp with them, and I know how to ink blend them onto things, but I don't really know how to use them in my art journal. So today I'm just going to experiment, and I have some packaging here, and I'm just going to smoosh some on here like so. Get kind of a lot. And we're going to add some water to that. And I'm just going to start by kind of stamping this around. You can mix the colors around if you want. I'm just going to start with one color, and I'll start up here. I don't care to have like a perfect look or anything like that. I literally just want this color to get down on my paper, and I thought that this would be quicker than trying to ink blend this. And I love the look of, you know, the splatters and the drips and things like that. So we'll start there. I'm going to grab a paper towel, and then we can keep doing this all around. So let's see. These colors are so pretty, and so I am excited to be using them. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing. This color is really pretty. It's a little darker, so I'm going to just use about that much. And same thing, add a little bit of water, and then just kind of add it in like so. And if you haven't used these inks before, they do dry kind of, what's the word? Kind of like a, kind of matte? No. Chalky? Yeah, I think that's what I'm trying to think of. Kind of chalky in a way. Like a chalkboard? I don't know. I don't think that's the right word what I'm looking for, but they're pretty cool. So now I'm going to take cracked pistachio. I love this green so much. And smush it down too. I kind of want a lot of this one. But I feel like this color palette works really well together, so I don't really have to worry about it getting muddy, but you could dry in between the layers if you're using colors that wouldn't mix very well. Do some down here. So the purple and green might not be great, but I'm just using a little bit of it down there. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit more of that green, but just up at the top where it would mix in with the blue. Okay. This is fun. I'm really glad that I decided to reach for these inks finally. Okay, do some over here. And then I'm going to lastly use some of this pink I have. picked raspberry, and I'll try to mix that a little bit more with the purple. Okay, if you guys have been working in your art journals, tell me what your favorite products are down below that you've been using. I would love to hear, see what you like. Ooh, I kind of like how that kind of dripped on like that. Okay. I'm almost thinking I want to add some black splatters, but maybe I'll save that for the end because I am going to be adding in a lot of black and white stamping, I think. Okay, so we're going to let this dry. Going to use a stencil and just do some random stenciling with the texture paste. I'll be honest guys, at first I was thinking about using a ton of different products like some collage paper and just other bits and pieces, but I feel like since I haven't done this in a while, I feel like I kind of just want to keep this one a little bit more simple and, you know, try out the products in maybe another layout, because I don't know, I'm thinking I really like this background and I don't want to mess it up too much. So I'm just going to do some random little placements here. This triangle pattern is kind of cool. And I have, let's see, what else do I have here? For some reason I always like the random dots, so maybe we'll do some of that down here. This will just add a little bit more to it. And let's see, I have this gesso. So actually, no, I'm not going to use gesso, but I think somewhere around here I have some other, I have matte medium. Probably not exactly what I'm looking for, but I'm just going to use some of this right here and use it as for the stencils. Okay. We'll just see. It's not really, I don't think it's really meant to be used with stencils, but I just wanted to try it out because it's going to dry clear, so I'm not sure. We'll dry that and see what that looks like. So maybe I'll go back to using a little bit more of this, and I'm just letting it mix in. I'm not even worried. I'm not even worried about it, guys. Okay. I'll just go like that. And then again, I'm going to use my heat gun and dry this up before we move on to the next step. I'm doing this kind of messy, but it's okay. Add a little bit of this Dylusions mica spray. You won't see it too much on camera, but it just adds some shimmer and it's really pretty. So I wanted to do that on top of our little embossed areas. So let's see. I feel like it's really hard to see on camera, but it will end up being super shimmery. Next, what I'm going to do is I want to build kind of a little scene with these. And so I'm also going to stamp these out because I've been wanting to use them for a while. So let's just go ahead and do that. I'm stamping them on watercolor paper, and I am going to use the VersaFine Onyx Black. This is my favorite ink to use when I am wanting to watercolor or do something along those lines. Something, you know, where it's going to get wet. I've never stamped these stamps. They're actually new to me, so I'm going to stamp them out and hope that they have a good impression. Okay, let's see how that worked. Ooh, that looks great. Okay, so I'm going to take this one off. I prefer to kind of stamp the ink onto my stamp. Oh, didn't do that too well. We'll redo that. That one's better. And I'm going to wash these stamps off in a moment. I'll just do that off camera. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and watercolor these. I'm just going to do this real loosely, I guess. And I'm going to start with this one over here. So I want this to definitely look like, you know, watercolored. I don't want the colors to be too opaque, I guess. And I do find that this paint is a little more opaque than I like for watercoloring, but you can thin it out pretty easy. So I like the colors, you know, enough to use it often. This lighter color up here. And you know what, I'm gonna go outside the lines just because I'm gonna cut these out, so I don't mind. do this window. I think these are the cutest little stamps. They are by Lavina Stamps, and I got these off of Etsy actually. So if you're looking for something like this, check out that brand, Lavina Stamps. Okay, so I'm just gonna go down here, and again, I'm just gonna cut around this, so I'm not gonna take the time to color inside the lines. Are the finished pieces. I'm not too fond of the white background on this, but it's really hard to cut so close to the image. So if I'm not happy with it once we glue it down, then I will just add some more watercolor around. I'm going to use my Wink of Stella pen, which is just kind of a shimmery pen or marker, I guess, and I'm just going to go over all of the images here. It creates a ton of shimmer, so I think that will look nice on these. I believe this is water-based, so just be careful because it can move your color around quite a bit, but it doesn't seem to be affecting it right now, so I'm just going to keep going with it. But if you are trying to add this to a finished stamp that you spent a lot of time coloring, then I would just beware that it can move around your color. There we go. I think I'm going to see if I can add it to these. Again, I didn't laser print them, so let's see. Just test a little area here. And I probably should have washed that off before going from the watercolor pieces to this, but I think it seems to be doing okay. I can see a little bleeding happening actually around the edges, so I'm just going to add just a touch more. I don't want to ruin these. So I'm going to have to be careful when I add glue, I think. But I think that this shimmer kind of brings these to life. Okay, I'm not sure if you can see that. You kind of play around with the placement and kind of add these where I think I want them to be, and then we can finalize them and glue them down. I really like how these look together. I love that the flowers are taller than the mushrooms. I think it looks so cool. So I'm just gonna kind of add these here. Let's see. I think that these are just so cute, and I feel like it is saving me so much time, and I'm still having a great time in my art journal, but it's it's helping me be a little bit more creative because I don't draw, and so I think this is kind of a nice option. I've never done anything like this before in my art journal that I can remember. Okay, so let's see, I might go ahead, I have more on this little sheet, and I might go ahead and cut out 1 or 2 more to add. So let's go ahead and glue these all down. I'm going to add quite a bit of glue to the watercolor paper just because it's very thick. I would rather add more than I need, than not enough when it comes to this, because I want these to stick down and stay in my book. Okay, so like I said, not too sure how these are going to glue down. Let's see. I just feel like vellum paper is just really kind of fidgety, and I could use double-sided tape if this seems to be giving us trouble. But so far, you guys, this glue never lets me down, so don't do it now, Tom. Bo. Alright, let's see. Seems like it's gonna be okay. Awesome. Alright guys, so I'm gonna speed this up a bit and just glue all of these down off camera to save some board. So that was pretty easy. I will say that on a few places where I had to really push the vellum down to make it stick, it did smudge a little bit. If you can see, there's a small part of smudging happening right here, maybe in a few other spots. I think it kind of makes it look a little bit more realistic, if anything, like I drew them on. But because of that, I'm gonna add some black splatters like I was thinking about in the beginning. And I'm gonna take this packaging and I'm just going to put my black ink down like so. I did not need that much, but already happened. And I'm just gonna take my paintbrush and just add some water. I could probably use any kind of ink, to be honest. I could use like watercolor or, you know, black paint, something like that, but we're gonna see if this will work. I think I need a little bit more water though. If this doesn't work, we'll go to something else that's black. Okay, my doggy sees something happening. And I'm just gonna take this and... Okay, that's not as black as I want it, so let's go to try the watercolor. Oh, much better. Oh yes, this looks... I feel like this really ties everything together. But to be quite honest, guys, I feel like I'm still missing something. Like maybe a title or something up in one of the corners. So I'll continue doing this. And I'm not worried about it getting on top of the images. In fact, I think that that will kind of help everything look like it's just, you know, a part of the page, if anything. Okay, really liking this, so glad we decided on this as a team. And let's see if I can get some bigger drops happening with a little bit more water. There we go. So if you want bigger drops, just make sure that your brush is super wet, and then it seems like tapping really helps with that. And the more water, the bigger the drops will be. And then if you want more of a sprayed look, you can just kind of go like this. Which that didn't work, but that's what you could do. All right, so I want some kind of a title or maybe wording, so I'm gonna use a Tim Holtz die cup, some Tim Holtz watercolor, no, this is wallpaper, and I cut 2, darn it. And we're just gonna make a little collage here. I really wanted to use this paper, so we'll just pile some of that in there. I'm just gonna rip some. So I'm just gonna make like a little layered kind of thing happen in here. And I really want to add some of that as well, some cheesecloth. So I'll just start by adding some glue back here. And then we'll just add the glue to all the layers. And so let's see, do we like it over here? Over here? I feel like over here because these are shorter pieces over here. Yeah, that's what I'm... My brain is not wanting to work. Okay, so I'll just add a little glue on top here, just randomly. Let that peek out. Then we'll add glue back here. And then I have some Tim Holtz word stickers. I don't know what we're gonna have it say, but we will have it say something. There we go. And we could have got real wild with that little collage and added a bunch, but I think we'll stop there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go through here and see what we want to use. This one, wishing all you're wishing for. Seems good for this page. And I'm gonna go ahead and cut it down the middle. And you could ink up the edges if you want, but I think I'm like feeling done here, so we're just gonna add that right in the middle of this little label. Like so. And there we go, guys. That was super fun. This is not at all what I thought it was going to turn out to be, but I'm so happy that I just kind of pushed myself, and I absolutely love her printables mixed in. I will definitely be using these again in my book. She has some other images as well, if I didn't mention that. I hope that you guys will get into your art journals and make something pretty and share it with me on Instagram if you do. I will see you guys later. Bye.